The Catholic Morning Show.
So wonderful to have you back with us, friends. So many wonderful organizations doing great work. And to make sure that that happens, of course, they need support, both prayers and volunteers, but of course, resources as well. We have one of these wonderful organizations we're going to talk about today, Ignite the Fire, and the president of that organization, Dr. Ryan Allen, is with us now. Good morning, Dr. Ryan. Thank you for coming on the Catholic Morning Show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So if you don't mind, what is with Ignite the Fire, what does FIRE stand for, and what's the heart of your mission?
Yeah, thanks for giving us the opportunity to share. FIRE stands for Families for Inclusive Religious Education. And our mission at the FIRE Foundation is to champion the inclusion of students with disabilities in our Catholic schools by providing educational resources, fundraising, and promoting a culture of belonging.
Well, that obviously noble and precisely the very thing you would hope that gospel-informed churches would try to do. What's your own connection to this work?
It really began with the birth of my daughter, Sawyer, 11 years, almost 12 years ago now. We didn't have a prenatal diagnosis, and so when Sawyer was born with Down syndrome, it was quite a surprise to both my wife and I. And one of the first thoughts I know I had that night, as I was reflecting on the experience that we were now embarking on, was how's she going to go to school with her? How's she going to go to Catholic school with her brothers? And it was really the FIRE Foundation, whether we knew it or not, was born that night. And it took a few years for it all to materialize because, soon after her birth and talking to friends and family, we started to get connected to other families who had children with disabilities who were on the margins of our Catholic schools. And so we began a process of meeting together, just a handful of families here in the Sioux City area, over the course of about 2 years, just meeting informally, trying to figure out what our next steps could be, how we could make this possible. And in the beginning, there were barriers and obstacles and gaps on all sides, from our public school partnerships within our own Catholic schools and the resources that they had available to them, and just the culture of, kind of always expecting that our children with special needs or disabilities were going to be served in public schools. And we wanted to challenge that, and that's been our mission ever since.
Well, if you don't mind sharing with us a story perhaps that brings your inclusion mission to life for us, to a sort of concrete way to understand how that played out.
Sure. I think one of the most powerful things of this mission that we've embarked on is just seeing how much it impacts students who don't have disabilities. And families. And I think there's certainly at the forefront of the work we do, it's about getting our kids with disabilities into our Catholic schools and allowing them to be served in a way that's meaningful and helpful. But one of the real benefits of inclusive education is not just for those students in particular, but for everybody around them. And we've seen that play out in every school that we've donated money to, and every position that we've helped create, every piece of curriculum or technology that we've helped insert into the classroom, the teachers that we've sent for trainings. We see it in the culture and in the community, and not just even in the school, but in our parish community, this larger net of welcoming and understanding that all of our children are God's children and everyone deserves to be supported and served. And so we've seen that play out in all sorts of just really amazing, really beautiful ways, and seeing how our kids support one another. One of the biggest initiatives that we try to champion within the classroom situation are peer mentoring programs. And we've seen that, the tremendous success of those mentoring programs, of having students serve other students and understanding that that's all really our kids want. They just want to belong. They just want to fit in. And they have the same hopes and dreams and aspirations as everyone else. And seeing kids their own age embrace that, understand that, it certainly lends credence to the message that, the kids will show us the way. And we see that play out every day.
Our Lord said, "Let the little children come unto me," and you out there listening can imagine that how that applies for all the children seeking a Catholic education. But of course, sometimes it takes special, concerted, and intentional effort to make sure that that is inclusive of all children. And today we're talking with Dr. Ryan Allen, who is speaking about Ignite the Fire and what fire does. Dr. Ryan, when we come to things like making this work, when it comes to the initiatives in the classroom, professional development, paraprofessional help, adaptive tech, that, of course, takes resources. How do schools apply for something like a fire grant to make that come to their place of education?
Well, you just nailed it. They apply for grants through us. We offer 2 different programs throughout the year. We have a major grant program that is due every year around mid-January, and that's to fund the larger school needs, usually positions or larger trainings. Some of the positions we funded over the years are for Strat 1 and Strat 2 interventionists in special education, resource teachers, many paraprofessionals to provide some one-on-one support. But we also do micro grants throughout the year, and these are really popular with our schools. These are capped at $1,500, and schools can apply for them year-round. And these have been one of the primary drivers for us to buy curriculum or to a particular program that students need, or to send teachers to specific trainings. Like we've sent teachers to trainings and conferences on learning disabilities, and on just inclusion in general, on Catholic inclusion. We have a lot of teachers in this past year who have gone to a training called Teach to Heal. We have a large group of diocesan staff who are there actually at a training right now for Teach to Heal, and it's really about the teacher, it's about the educator. We spend so much, and certainly we need to spend so much time and energy thinking about the interventions with the children we serve, but we don't spend a lot of time thinking about the interventions we need ourselves as the providers, as the teachers, as the caregivers, and how much our kids are plugging into us and to how we're feeling and how we're responding. And so Teach to Heal has been a really impactful training that many of our educators have gone through, and we already see the impact.
Well, this year is the 6th annual Ignite the Fire. There's so much that you all have been able to do. What stands out as the most impactful of this outreach?
I think one of the biggest things it's been powerful is right at the very beginning, before we ever began Fire, we sat down with our former superintendent, Patty Lancic, and our former bishop, Bishop Nicholas, and got their blessing. And it's continued on with Bishop Keener, and really being able to sit with our church leadership and to have them pray with us and understand how important this is to not just families like mine, but to our larger church's mission, and that we have to include everyone if we're going to be whole. And so to have that support in a very not just far off way, not as something that we're just reading off a script, but something that's deeply personal. I know when my daughter made her first communion, we have this picture of her as she's receiving her communion, and the amount of it's one of the most beautiful pictures that we have. It's the grace that you can see that she's receiving, but it's also the grace that the priest is receiving as well. And just you can see the joy in his eyes by being able to just bestow this sacrament and to be a part of this sacrament and this experience with my daughter. And it was so moving at the time. It still is moving as now and impactful as I think about it today. And that's getting replicated all over the place. We're serving every one of the Diocese of Sioux City schools in some way, shape, or form. And so just seeing that it's not just about my daughter, but it's about all of our kids. And we're seeing that impact, again, all throughout the diocese. And so that's been truly amazing.
Amen, indeed. Look, before we let you go, how can listeners become a sponsor or get tickets? And where can they find out more about the event and Fire in general?
Yeah, the number one spot to probably go for information is to our website, and that's firefoundationnwiowa.org. And there you can get information about the organization, but you can certainly, at the very top of the page, you can buy tickets and support the cause, to come to our upcoming fundraiser event, which is at a new location this year. We're going to be at the Sioux City Distilling Company this year on September 16th from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. We'd love for everybody who's listening to come out and join us there. But if you can't make it in person, then certainly go to our website, and there's all sorts of great ways to support us to do exactly what we've been describing, helping teachers receive training, help support salaries for teachers, and to help provide curriculum and technology. I can say with real pride that we're all volunteers at the Fire Foundation of Northwest Iowa. 100% of every single dollar we raise goes right back into our diocesan classrooms.
It's the 6th annual Ignite the Fire. Go check it out. We've been speaking with the president of the Fire Foundation of Northwest Iowa, Dr. Ryan Allen. Thank you for coming on the Catholic Morning Show.
We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Listen to the Catholic Morning Show weekdays at 7 a.m. Central on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, iowacatholicradio.com, or the Iowa Catholic Radio app.
What legacy would you like to leave? As part of the Legacy Society, your gift supports the future of the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. By participating in the planned giving process, you can be assured that when you leave this earth, your charitable gift will continue to support this apostolate and its mission of connecting people to Christ. If you're interested in including Iowa Catholic Radio as part of your charitable gift planning, call me, Belle Marasco, at 515-223-1150. Thank you for your prayerful support.